Thank you, President. Can I too begin by thanking colleagues for the excellent work that was done in trying to shape this CAP and make sure Parliament had a strong voice in it. As Capoulas Santos, my colleague, said, this is a compromise, and there are good bits in this compromise, and there are some areas where I think we'll be back in 2 years looking at it again, because it will not work. The good parts are the move away from pure income support in the direct payments package towards incentives for developing a more sustainable agriculture and paying for public goods. The young farmer support is very welcome. The possibility for extra LFA support is also a very good measure, and as are the greening as well. I believe it is a good measure. The problem I have with it is the detail, and I'll turn to that in a minute. We also have given flexibility, as Mairead McGuinness said, to Member States in the package to allow them to shape the CAP to suit their own agricultural priorities. But as ever, we are waiting on them to use that power to deliver and tell us how they will use the flexibility, certainly in Scotland. So these were all steps in the right direction, but there are two areas where I believe we have failed to reach a sensible outcome. On greening, I believe it is too narrowly focused on biodiversity measures alone, to the expense of genuine attempts to reduce the use of scarce resources such as energy, fertiliser use, pesticide use, and reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Initially, of course, the greening is voluntary, and I think it should always be voluntary, but after 2 years it reverts to being compulsory, where you will be punished if you are transgressing by money taken away from your basic payment. The second, as I said earlier, I believe that on greening, the review clause that is there in 2017 will be desperately needed to try and sort this out. Second point where I have real concerns is the flexibility between pillars. I think the Parliament rolled over too easy in that. The ability to transfer money from Pillar 1 to Pillar 2 and from Pillar 2 back to Pillar 1 undermines the very concept of fairness that lay at the heart of this reform. And it means that farmers in different countries can expect different levels of support. That undermines the commonality of the policy and indeed ensures that some farmers have a competitive advantage over others. Finally, turning to the area where other speakers have raised their concerns about delegated acts and the process. There is some suggestion that this is an attempt by the Commission to rewrite the deal. If it is, we will definitely vote these delegated acts down. I also have one other concern. There was a Scottish clause in there which was so important in dealing with the naked acre problem we have in Scotland. We are now told that the use of that activity clause will rule out minimum stocking rates, and if that is the case, the clause is worthless. I would like the Commissioner maybe to respond to the concerns over that in his final response.